some auntie did come up to my mum recently and she said, oh, apparently Sen's dating a Chinese girl. My mum came up to me and was like, is there another one that I don't know about?
And then I remember like falling in love with a beautiful girl in primary school. I remember like...
and you were 20 at the time.
Welcome back to Critical Banter, the podcast that brings the Friday drinks chat to you. This week's episode, we have classic game, Bullslut, and we also have a new segment. We have the ethnic experience. But before that, wrap of the week, we got me and Miguel, we have Senny.
Yo.
We have Ro.
G'day. Boys, massive guest on today's episode. Today is all about dating, its relationships, and we've brought in an expert to talk about that very topic. So Brenda from DatingAppsSuck, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
So first question, Brenda, why do dating apps suck?
Oh, this was a loaded question to begin with. I don't know if any of you guys have had dating app experience, but for any that have, I think if we rewind back to almost like 5, 6, 7 years ago, there was this like golden era of dating apps when they all first released. And I think people used it for what it was meant to be used for, like meeting people in a new way.
Hooking up and...
Yeah, you know, like the classic, whatever you're down. You know, there was kind of like your top 2 to 3 reasons.
Yeah.
But now there's like a whole array of reasons. There's like people that are not single on there. There's just, it's gotten really fucked up. So yeah. I think like having been in the trenches and using dating apps myself over the years, it's like from personal experience, I was like, this has got to be one of the worst ways to meet people. And I'm like a huge romantic. So it's sort of like, this just feels inorganic. Like it's just not as natural.
It makes sense. Like I personally never been on a dating app ever.
Really?
Whoa,
but I know
one of the lucky ones.
I know, Sen, you have had your fair share, and Migs as well.
Yeah, I'll talk about my experience. It wasn't a very successful experience.
We did a segment before where Sen was talking about his pickup lines, and they were like,
This is self-inflicted why it didn't go well. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah,
it's not like he gave it a good go and it didn't happen. Didn't go well.
You just didn't meet the right one that appreciated the pickup.
No, he was treating Tinder as a stand-up comedy little practice. What was it? If my uncle touched me.
I was going to say, Brenda, do you want to hear any of these pickup lines?
I
give
would
her
love
one.
to.
So full disclosure, these are pickup lines that I stole from someone else. So these are
yeah?
Australian comedian Frenchie. I don't know if you know him, but he came up with these pickup lines. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a go. It sounds pretty funny.
God.
So the first one was, I matched with this girl and I said, hey, would you rather be a tree for 6 months or be a person for 6 months, but everyone thinks you're a pedophile? And then she responded.
Oh, she responded.
Yeah, surprising already.
So she responded, the tree. I don't know where this is going. And I said, everyone says tree. What's wrong with the second option? And she's like, because if you're a pedophile, people might avoid you. And I'm like, can't be that bad. My uncle doesn't seem to mind it.
That's just so bad.
Did she reply?
No, that was where it ended.
Yeah, shock.
And then the other one that I tested was I matched with this girl and I said, hey, you have the same name as my cousin. Are you as good of a kisser as her?
Oh.
Just
She didn't reply to
Brenda's
that
given that a big thumbs
one. That
down.
wouldn't work on you?
I would say I'm more tolerant than a lot of people, but yeah, that would be a very quick no.
Is that an instant unmatch?
Yeah.
So yeah, my time on Tinder, I didn't take seriously.
Yeah.
So I probably was part of the reason why you hate dating apps. Is I'm one of those. I didn't take it seriously, and I just wanted to kind of just throw a bit of bounce at people.
No, fair.
What about you, man? How'd you find your
I was
experience?
just on it for a laugh for like a couple of weeks. But like I never was serious. So like even if I matched some, I might not even message because I'm just like I can't be bothered. But it was a done thing, so I thought I should have it done.
Give it a go. So obviously the reason why dating apps suck exists is because of people and men like us. But I wanted to ask though, like obviously like you've founded this company, and we asked this question to everyone on the podcast. But what's your rarest moment? But maybe for this we want to modify a little bit in terms of like what's your rarest dating moment?
There's this ongoing debate around like, do guys pay for the first date?
Oh, okay.
I'm all for like girls picking up the like dessert or like drinks after. But I think it's and this is a consensus from a lot of my girls as well, that it's a really romantic thing if the guy can just grab the first dinner, the first date. Like it's and in fact, a lot of girls have said it's an ick if they've asked to split or if like the girl has had to pay, anything like that. So I went on this date, and to be fair, I think the expectations were a bit high because we'd talked for a little while, and like there was like a whole meet cute situation. So expectations are a little bit high. We went to this game place, and basically it's sort of like per head you do have to pay like I think it was like $40 per head, and it was like the first time I'd met him, we'd said hi and stuff. We went in, and like the girl at the counter was like setting up the bill, and then he turns to me and he's like, "Can you get this one? I'll explain why inside." And I was like,
That old chestnut, a classic of the genre.
I was like, okay.
And what were you feeling at this? Were you just like, you're off him immediately?
It wasn't because of that though, because I had already I have this thing, and I don't know if guys have this thing, but it's like within the first couple of minutes, you kind of get, you know what, honestly, a minute, you get a vibe or not.
Yeah.
And I think I was already not on the vibe. So,
this is just like compounded. Yeah. No.
I was like, oh dear. So I was like, cool, I'll buy it. So then I paid for it and we went inside. What was I meant to do?
Yeah, you gotta say no to that. Like,
Oh, I feel like you can.
it's just a bit uncomfortable. I feel.
Did he ask exactly when you had to pay, when you had to like tap your card at that point? Oh, he gave no chance.
Yeah.
He gave no chance.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Wait, so
This guy's done it before.
Yeah, this guy's a serial.
Dude, he's an expert.
So I was shocked. I was like, obviously, I was like, all right, well, okay. And we went inside, and I was like, that's when you should have ordered a few drinks and stuff. And then I was at this point, I was like, oh, like he's gonna grab the drinks because I grab the thing. He kind of just let me go about my own way, scan my own QR, and like grab my own drinks. And then I was still waiting for this explanation, but I wasn't going to bring it up. I was like, I'm going to play the cool girl for a little bit. So then we started playing the games and like everything. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to tell you. And then he's like looking around the place. He's like, oh, like, don't you think this place is like, would be nice for one of your dating events that you run? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. And he's like, well, that's why I sort of like asked you to pay the start, because I was like, he's like, it's like an experience. Like you could use this as like a tax write-off. And I was like, what?
Hey,
This guy a financial planner or something.
I've never heard that in my life. I was like, I don't know how this makes sense.
Was there a second date after that?
What do you think, Sen?
was it written off the tax or?
Did you at least do that?
Yeah, more importantly, did it work? Was it good financial advice?
No, I didn't even get the receipt. And I was like, there was no.
Oh.
That's a bit
crazy.
strange,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Till this day, I'm still very confused. But, it was an interesting new one.
Did you get the drinks? Or
Yeah, did he pay for
was there
anything in
any
the end?
drinks involved?
No, I had to play for my drinks. So it was,
Oh, okay.
he'd get the drinks if I won.
See, that's a fun little game if you haven't extorted her at the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, I won. So
Yeah,
I was like,
oh.
I was going to get my drinks. So anyways, but then we had part 2 was dinner, and it was, so I was like, you know what? I got the games. He's going to get dinner.
Surely.
It was one of those places where the damn QR codes, so there's QR codes on each of our sides. And I'm like, you could easily say, hey, we'll order off my phone.
Yeah.
No, he was like, he ordered his and I ordered mine. And that was the day.
What if a guy, just a hypothetical, what if he went to go pay for the bill for the dinner, but he started using vouchers? Is that fair play? Is that play on?
Coupons.
Yeah, coupons.
Personally, because this is just my personally, I would vibe it.
Okay.
Yeah. I would note it, but I would vibe it.
I think the coupons have to be on the DL. I feel you can't be proud.
Why?
You can't be proud. Oh, hang on, I've got fucking
He's paying for it. It doesn't matter how he pays for it.
fair point.
You know what? In the flip, can I ask back a question? It's like, because I love being frugal. It's like a Asian thing, right?
Yeah.
And like there's heaps of those apps out there now where it's like, if you book here, it's like 50% off the bill, 30% off.
Oh, yeah.
If I was like, like the guy's got the first date, whatever, it's like my turn to shout second date. If I was to do that, if a girl was to do that, would a guy care?
I wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care.
I don't care, but you shouldn't. It shouldn't be with your chest. Like, oh, I'm going here because it's on sale. I'm going here because I have a voucher.
No, but like
Like, if you pay with a voucher,
DM.
fine. That's like whatever. But don't be with your chest like, oh, I've got this really good voucher. Like, let's go here. Blah,
I
blah, blah.
It's shameful about it.
I actually think that's better. I don't think you get caught trying to slide a voucher on the
Yeah.
DL.
No,
I
as in
think
you're not trying to hide it, but you're not like proud.
No, I'd rather they be proud about it because
yeah,
I know they're
I'd
financially
rather be normal
savvy.
about it. Is that so hard to ask?
No, but at the end of the day, you're getting a free meal. Who cares how they pay for it?
That is true. That is true.
Mate, beggars can't be choosers.
Date 3. So my parents have like this thing, like the entertainment book, like big thing, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've
You've
heard
whipped it out on a couple occasions.
Third date with Cindy, I whipped out the entertainment book. We're going to tie and we're going to Rouse Hill because it's giving me 20% off.
Oh my God, I love that. Like,
There you go. 8 years later, we're still together. So
yeah. You know what though? It's a good test. You know what? Because I've heard before, like, I've had friends that have like rich guy friends where they're sort of like, we don't want a girl just to be with us for the money, and like they'll actually find ways to test them in sort of like similar ways.
That sounds pretty toxic looking.
No, I know, but like they're like trying to hide inheritance and stuff. So
Oh,
they're
right,
like,
yeah.
but like they're literally like, we will test them and see like, you know, what type of girl they are. Like if we were in this situation.
Nah, that's fair game, surely.
No, I think that is fair game. I think that's a fair game. You rock up in like, ripped shoes.
Yeah.
Just like terrible hair. You've been mugged. No, that makes sense. But
So I assume that story happened down in Melbourne,
Yeah.
and you are here in Sydney now. So I guess the age-old question is, what's the difference between dating in Sydney and dating in Melbourne? Because I feel like that story, that wouldn't happen here in Sydney. I feel like
There's a bit more decorum here.
Yeah. We've got a bit of class about us here
Yeah.
in Sydney.
Everyone loves to know because I think I'm in like a really unique position where I've dated in both, but also know the singles community in both, which is kind of crazy. It was kind of really eye-opening for me when I moved up to Sydney because have you guys heard the term provider mindset before?
yeah.
No, let's assume I haven't heard. So
Okay.
maybe can you give us a quick
So
description?
I guess provider mindset is sort of like a more traditional style of dating where it's like, the guy's going to pick her up, the guy's going to cover the bill, the guy's going to book the place. There's no questions asked.
Gotcha.
It's very traditional. It's like we're going to take care of everything. Because there's less of that in Melbourne, I found. It was eye-opening for me here that it was so natural. But not only natural for guys to do it, it's expected. As in my girlfriends are like, I was like, oh my God, it's amazing here. They're like, that's bare minimum.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, oh.
Why is that then in Sydney that's the standard here? Because I'll put my hand up. I don't think I ever did that in my dating days.
Not provider energy.
No, I don't think so. Were you?
I think
I was a receiver.
Apparently, Ro was for date 1 and 2, but by 3 it was.
No, I think I developed into the provider energy.
Yeah,
Because I think it's like, but then again, like I always say, like, I don't know, the private provider thing is nice, but it also seems like there's like a little bit of a trade-off because all the people that I've seen like be providing, it's like low-key toxic because in return, they expect the traditional like feminine values in a girl.
Yeah.
And that's like often frowned upon.
That's the difference. So in Melbourne, I would say in terms of equality and how guys are like women should have their careers and like empower them to be like whatever they want to be. I think that you're right, there is a trade-off to it. And so the expectation around just being a stay-at-home mom or whatever, is nothing wrong with that, is different. Whereas here it's like, well, if I'm providing, well, what am I getting?
Yeah.
Right. So
There
there's
is
an
that.
expectation of something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
So you
It's
do
not like
really
you're
have to
providing for nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So
yeah.
you do really have to think about like, what's your cup of tea?
Makes sense. So I think, yeah, it's interesting. Is there any other differences dating in Sydney versus Melbourne apart from that?
Melbourne is very feelsy. We love talking about our emotions, like deep
yeah.
stuff, like DNMing. It's like a whole ass vibe. Like we love that shit. Here, not as much. Like I start like asking questions a bit too probing. They're like, that's
Yeah.
too personal.
Too much.
Like,
Closed books here.
Yeah. Very
Closed
much
book policy.
It's frowned upon, I feel, to talk about your feelings here in Sydney. We don't have time for that.
yeah.
You talk about your feels maybe 3 or 4 years into a relationship.
oh my
If that.
God, that's shocking. I like to know everything up front. Like what's
really?
yeah.
I only learnt my missus's parents' name last week. We've been together for 4 years. Maybe, Ro, should we get into some red flags?
We shall.
We put the call out to our followers on Instagram for some red flags, some common, what they think to be red flags in a relationship. And we've picked out maybe 10 or 15 of what we thought was the best answers or the most common answers, I guess. And so, Ro, we're going to go through them and we're going to get maybe your opinion as well, Brenda, of what you think.
Yeah, we're going to go red flag or not. Okay, so the first one is their text messages appear as green. Is that a red flag? Yes or no?
Personally, for me, no. But a lot of it's an ick for a lot of my girlfriends.
Yeah. If you don't have an iPhone in 2024, what are you doing?
Grow up.
Grow up. Genuinely, actually grow up.
Before we crack on, what's the difference between an ick and a red flag?
So an ick is something that you're conscious of, but you're not written off. A red flag is more serious. You're like, you kind of like 3 red flags. No, some people not even 3, but it's kind of like 3 you're out. Whereas icks, it's like, oh, it accumulates over time. And then eventually you're like, oh, I'm completely icked out.
So you can have 3 red flags. So you can
that's an arbitrary number I just threw out there. I don't know.
Little baseball. 3 strikes.
I thought 1 red flag, that's it, you're done.
It depends on the severity of the red flag.
Oh.
So you get redder flags if
It's
you
like
want.
spectrums of red flags.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's why it's like, you know, the beige flag thing came out recently.
yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
So should we do red flag, ick, or not? Or is
Yeah,
that
red flag.
Because it's like degrees, right?
Yeah. Because
Spectrum.
I feel like,
Okay. Is it a red flag? Is it an ick? Or is it nothing? Okay.
yeah. So,
Alright.
because like green text messages is not a red flag.
No.
It's just a bit of an ick.
It's a massive ick.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a red flag.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next one is wears no-show socks.
Like ankle socks.
Yeah, like you can't see
Like
the
the-
socks.
Yeah.
What year
Invisible
is it, brother? They were big when? 2013?
They were big when we were in high school.
Yeah. I remember like when I was in high school, I would have the like skinny-ish jeans
Yes.
and I would roll them up like really tight and I'd wear like low-cut shoes with no-show socks.
Yeah.
And that was the fashion.
Yeah, because
like
you used to wear
Ray-Bans.
Ray-Bans.
Not like similar to Ray-Bans, but Ray-Bans was primary school.
That is true.
Mm.
Yeah, you can't be wearing no-show socks in this day and age.
In 2024?
Nah.
Brenda?
But
I think it's okay. But again, it's more ick than red flag.
agreed. Well, it's a red flag for you.
It's kind of red flaggy.
Why?
It's
Explain
kind of
it.
red flaggy.
They're stuck in the times,
They're stuck
man.
in the-
They're
mate.
stuck in the tens.
Yeah, dude. What does that say about your mindset? You conservative, dude. I'm hearing a lot of things if you're wearing no-show
Are your
socks.
worldviews still
Yeah.
aligned with the
You
no-shows?
voted no last year.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't realize no show socks were so loaded. I just
I thought they were just socks.
like literally I need to throw them all out.
No, I think this is just a guy thing. I think like if I'm seeing a girl with no-show socks,
That's play on.
no dramas, I think.
What? Oh, interesting.
So in a guy only,
Why is
it's
it
a
more
red.
forgiven if it's with a girl?
Because I think no-show socks, I'm not sure. Like it's just normal. It just feels like normal fashion. It's moved on. People also wear no-show socks here and it's like socially accepted. But I think if guys are wearing no-show socks, wowie, that's a
Interesting.
bit of a blunder.
I saw someone wearing no-show socks with their work shoes.
See that?
That was, I'll give you, that was a red flag. That was a massive red flag.
That you
Guy's
can't do
gotta go.
ever.
Yeah.
Dude, that was disgusting.
All right, next one is if she's been in a relationship in the past 12 months.
Sorry?
So I assume you go on like a first day with someone.
Yeah. And you
And
ask the
there.
question, oh, like when was your last
Right.
relationship? And she was like, oh, it was 4 months ago.
Well, I want to ask you guys, is it?
No, 12 months
I
is
don't think
crazy.
No.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Like 12 days. All right. I'll give you that. 12 hours especially.
Yeah.
But 12 months. That's a huge buffer.
That's a year, man.
Yeah.
That's play on. That's
So
I don't
fine.
remember what I
That's
was doing a year ago, let alone like what a
Yeah,
relationship would do.
exactly.
Okay, good answer. Because yeah, I would say the same. But also, there's a rule of thumb. I
Is
heard
there?
this once, and I've kind of sort of lived by it. I don't know why. It takes a month for every year they were with someone to get over someone, or like at least be healed enough.
Sorry,
to
can you
date
say that again?
So let's say someone's with someone for 3 years, minimum 3 months out of a relationship before they should be dating again. 1 month for
I see.
every year to
To heal.
So this rule,
It's like long service leave.
It's just a cruise.
so brothers' submission should be if they were in a 12-year relationship,
Yeah.
then it should be the 12 months.
Yeah, okay. All right.
12 is actually a long. That's
oh,
a.
it's a long time.
Have you seen there's like the dating shows on like Cut and like Jubilee.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
And they always ask they have like these two people in the room and one person's answering questions, but the other one is hearing what they're answering. And they always chuck out like, oh, if your partner died, how long would you wait? And people are chucking out crazy answers.
like what?
Like, oh, it'd be like a couple of weeks and then I'd be over it.
Surely not.
But I think it's a bit of a strange one.
Yeah. 12 months is heaps of time.
That
too
is
long.
Yeah.
plenty of time.
All right, next one is if they don't reply within the hour.
No, that's not a red flag at all. Or a nick.
No.
People have lives.
People have lives.
So I clarified this and she was like, what if they're at work? And she was like, oh, not at work. I'm just talking about weekends. So maybe it doesn't reply in the hour on a weekend.
People
As in, like, you know, they're not out and about, for example.
Yeah. What if
Like,
they
if you know
could
they're home.
Right, that's even worse than
Yeah.
be recording a podcast?
Yeah.
We're up to serious business. Who knows?
I think that's fine.
It's absolutely fine.
It's fine.
People.
That begs
Get
the
over it.
question, how long is before it becomes like too long? Like it's not an hour. But
Well,
what
it
if they're
depends on-
taking 24
It
hours?
depends
to
on
reply?
what stage of the dating process you're at. Like,
Yeah.
did you just meet this person? Have you been
Correct.
I
talking
reckon
for a while?
Early on,
Are you dating?
you're dating.
Oh, you're dating.
Are you
Yeah.
exclusive?
I I don't have all the answers, Brenda.
Give us an answer. Give us one.
I need
Okay.
the scope.
You're dating. You're currently dating, but you're not exclusive.
So like
Nah, it's fair game.
4 or 5 dates in your approximate, like that
like
sort of region.
Three dates.
Uh,
No, you're fair game.
You
that's fair
reply.
game. Yeah,
1
that's
hour
fair
is still
game.
fine,
That's fair
yeah.
game.
Even if you're
Wow.
dating for a while, I think it's fine if your partner doesn't reply in an hour.
The longer you date, the longer it can be.
Exactly.
My partner could write tomorrow, and it's like fine, busy, mate.
I've got her location. It's all good.
yeah, dude.
But what if like you're I don't know. What
Okay,
about the
so-
theory? It's like if someone likes you, if you do like that person,
Yeah.
they'll do whatever it takes to reply.
Right. Yeah. So it should be max a couple of hours. And if it's any more than 24 hours, delete number.
They got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because if they wanted to send, they would.
Yeah. It's within no one is busier for longer than 24 hours that you can't. Everyone's on their phone. Like
Yeah.
it's if it's over 24 hours, doesn't mean enough to them.
What
about
if
the theory of treat them mean, keep them keen?
24 hours is too mean.
That's too mean.
That's too mean.
Yeah.
That's just like toxic. Yeah.
What if it's an hour, but you can see they're just on Instagram? They're like they're
You can see
liking
they're
people's
active.
photos, or like
Or
they've sent a snap and they're just like at
That's
home or
heartbreaking.
something like that, replying in a group chat, but they're not replying to you.
So there's this thing that someone said to me once. They're like, just because they have free time doesn't mean you're entitled to their free time.
bars?
I like that.
That's class.
Which is true. Yeah, they can do whatever they want. Fair enough.
But if they're keen,
If they
they should want to
They
do
should
it in
be
their free time.
on FaceTime
Yeah.
24 hours a day. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, dude.
This one maybe was the most common response. The red flag is they use Snapchat to communicate.
That's an ick.
Depending on the age group, but I do find that kind of ick.
For me, that's actually, again, I'm going to say it's a red flag. Disappearing messages. If they're in their 20s and they're using Snapchat.
If you use it properly,
I mean,
that's
come
heinous.
on. Yeah. But
yeah,
they
why do you
should-
need it to disappear, bro?
Dude, they should be locked up for using Snapchat in their 20s. Seriously.
No, but that's what they use.
What's that?
Like the early 20s. Like that's what they use.
No way. Snapchat, really?
Why are you looking at me? I'm not in my early 20s.
I'm looking for someone who's early 20s. No one's in the room.
So wait, what? So they're using Snapchat?
No, dude,
There's
my brother who's like
They talk on Snapchat.
18 and like younger, 21 maybe, they use, not 21, 18 and younger, they definitely use Snapchat.
Yeah.
But surely, I thought the younger 20s, they use Instagram.
It's a mix. It's a hybrid. And then they shift. It's like as you shift, and then eventually, like we're on Facebook. Now I'm joking. But like,
I am on
eventually-
Facebook. Seriously, all my messages
I
are
use
on-
Messenger all the
Messenger
love
is
time.
my
Messenger.
most used app.
Oh, love Messenger. But yeah, it shifts. So like if they're like towards like early to mid 20s, then they'll do half Insta, half Snap.
So if you're 26 using Snapchat as your primary, that's
Honestly,
a red flag.
no, I think even if you're 20, I'm going to say 23.
That's the
and
cutoff,
over.
you reckon?
Yeah, maybe. If what Brenda's saying is true here. Snapchat is inherently a suspicious app.
Yeah. We're giving them until they graduate uni.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is when someone has a tattoo of the football team that they support. Just shows they're passionate.
See,
you know?
I'm biased. I think that's fine.
Okay, Brenda, thoughts?
Well, I only recently learned that football here means NRL. I'm an AFL girly moving from Melbourne.
That's a red flag.
Fair call.
Yeah, so Loki, I think for some reason, I have it in my head that if you have a football soccer tattoo, it's okay.
It's
Ish.
a little bit more prestigious. I don't know why.
Yeah, but if you have an NRL or an AFL tattoo,
You're
I
a
mean,
bogan.
that
Yeah,
is-
it's way more bogan.
that's trashy.
It's like
Next to your
your
Southern
equivalent-
Cross.
Yeah, it's like your equivalent of your girl's tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Like butterfly waist tramp stamp.
So what-
Nothing wrong with that for anyone that. Like,
but red flag or nah or ick.
again, I'm a very tolerant person. So I'd be like, oof, questionable. I need to dig deeper on why this happened. But it would be an ick for most. I don't believe red flag.
Okay, we have a friend that we met. He supports the team Liverpool, and on his chest is a like mural of the football manager who's retiring. On his hand is the signature that he got in the elevator when he met him, and then he has like some Liverpool tattoo elsewhere. Maybe
I think
on
he's
his
got 3
calf.
or 4. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, big pieces.
Yeah, when I first met him, within 5 minutes, his shirt was off, showing me the tattoo.
Jurgen Klopp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. He's really proud. Saying with his chest.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, what?
Look, it shows that he's passionate. I think that's fine.
No, am I the only one sitting here saying red flag
I
for like
just-
all of these?
Now, where's the tattoo? That's my question.
Yeah.
Is it somewhere
chest, full
concealed?
chest?
Yeah, I guess.
Does it make a difference?
you have to understand, like red flag is a pretty heavy.
Yeah.
It's like a whole character thing. Like it's like, are they a bad person? I don't think they're a bad person for having like bad tattoos.
But they're allowed 3, remember, so it's fine.
But also, I like the signature one is cool. So I'm like, I'd be impressed.
Okay.
But then everything else is a bit much.
Bit over the top. All right, the next one is they go on their phone during dates. So they're scrolling, they're looking at Instagram.
Nah. Red flag.
Red flag?
Yep. That's my first red flag. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's in first out of the ones we're talking about. Yeah, red flag.
I don't know if it's a red flag. It's a nick.
Wait, but then it's also stages of dating. Are we
Yeah.
talking early,
Yeah,
or
I
are we
think
talking
if
10-year
you can only be
relationship?
far in the relationship where you can start doing this.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's just first year or two. This is very heinous behavior.
Mm.
It's yucky behavior.
All of these are early dating.
Okay.
Oh.
then
I'm
yeah.
talking about in like a
Right.
serious relationship.
No.
None of these
Then
are.
no, full attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Then.
Be present.
Okay. What about doesn't eat food with bones?
What?
I've dated girls that wouldn't eat a chicken drumstick.
That's a red flag.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, grow up. Hang on. Yeah, grow up. What's
That's
wrong with a
actually a grow
bone?
up.
Eat around it.
So you can't eat chicken, you can't have fish, you can't have
Well, no, you
ribs.
can have all those things. But
if you
have to
don't
have boneless.
prefer it, whatever. But if you literally sit here and tell me I can't order the chicken because it's boned, get out.
Unless you can give me an actual medical reason as to why you can't eat it, that's
Wait,
grow up.
so like, if you went on a date, gorgeous girl, loved her personality, super vibe, but they're like, literally the menu came out and you're like, oh yeah, like let's get chicken. She's like, I don't eat bones.
I'm getting up and walking out.
I'm sitting there thinking about my future, about when I have to
Exactly.
cook. And I'm thinking, how many meals do I have? Can I make that don't have bones? in
Boneless.
them?
How many boneless meals do you
Yeah, I
have?
don't have that many, respectfully.
I'm thinking about if I go to KFC, can I order anything?
Popcorn, chicken,
Yeah.
chips, that's about it.
You can have bones. She would like to not have bones.
But I want to enjoy it together. You want to share a meal.
What's the point of a relationship? You can't be together.
I guess it's fine because like people who are vegetarian, no bones. So I just treat her as if she was vegetarian. So
So would you date a vegetarian? Is now the question.
that's the question is now I have to answer myself. And the answer to that is also no.
Grow up. Surely red flag. Not even a nick. Red flag. There's something up here
Because it
that's telling
starts
you.
with bones now, but then who's to say where it goes in a few years?
No, but but that's like the equivalent of like a dietary requirement
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah, but they have that's his reason and rhyme to
Yeah, there's
dietary
actual medical
requirements.
reasons.
Yeah,
for
okay,
it.
fair call.
What religious
Fair call.
or medical reason do you have for not having bones?
It's just funny. Next one is when you ask them what their hobbies are and they say, I don't know.
Is it they don't have any hobbies or they just don't know what their hobbies are? Because there's a difference between the two.
Is it?
Yeah, I feel like you can know what you can have hobbies, but you just don't know how to articulate it. And you can just genuinely have no hobbies.
What are your hobbies, Sen? I ask you right now.
Podcasting.
Oh.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, there you go. Fair play.
Right.
It's the clutch we have.
I don't know.
Not
yeah,
having hobbies.
not having hobbies is a red flag.
Again, would have to dig deeper, but I know a lot of girls like interesting people, and interesting people tend to do stuff with their life.
I think not being able to articulate it is also a red flag. Even if you have
Really?
hobbies but can't articulate. Yeah, if you're on a date, that's going to come up. Like, you're not sitting there like, I wonder what question she's going to ask me.
Yeah, if you
know?
look up
Like,
what question to ask, I'm sure like 9 out of 10 websites like hobbies.
yeah, what do you like to do for fun? What are your hobbies? Like, what are you going to sit there and talk about your job for the whole
What if you're
time?
ashamed of your hobbies? Sports gambling.
Yeah, I mean, that's a separate thing.
That's
but
a shameful hobby. Oh.
To some people, it would be.
You put a bit of mayor, sport.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, just remove the
Sports
gambling.
investor.
Yeah, exactly. Or just investing, you know?
Yeah, investing.
She doesn't
Now
need
you're
to
just
know.
lying, but like,
Yeah, for me, that's a red flag.
Okay, this actually is relating to your point when she doesn't have any intention of paying for the first date. So you get there, bill's been slid,
yeah,
girl's just on her phone.
yeah. I'd have a lot of girls that would disagree with me here, but I think that is red flag. That is a little, to me, there is no intention is a little entitled. Like offer, like get dessert after, get drinks after. There should be, it'd be nice to cover a portion of it because everyone works hard for their money.
There should be a little
No
tango that there should be a little
exactly.
tango
I was
that's
gonna
played.
say.
We both
Yeah.
know where it's going, but there should be a little
Yeah.
something.
I'm actually okay with the no intention, but it's that I want you to just at least pretend. Hit me with the hezzy, like pretend like try and grab the bill, even though I know I'm going to pay. That's all it is. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I think you need to
Like
play that
ideally
little dance.
don't. I ideally not want to pay, but if push comes to shove.
How does it work, right? In the paying for things, is it I get the first date, you get the second date, or is it I get the first 5 dates, you get the 6th? You know what I mean? Like, where's the provider energy? What's happening?
But it's different for every girl. I think Most girls, the minimum expectation is first date they get. And usually, like I said, the girls will be happy to pay for the drink after or the dessert after. But if the after thing didn't happen, then second date is up for grabs. But by third, the girl should pay.
What if the first date is a cup of coffee down the street and the second date
that's
is
not a
a dinner?
No. A proper date is like a meal.
There we go.
Okay.
What if you go on a first date?
Can we stop throwing these hypotheticals?
The guy pays, you say your goodbyes, and then a couple of days later, you get a beam request from him for half the.
That's a massive ick or red flag, whatever.
Yeah. All of the girls I've talked to would never see them again.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this one, right? They can't use chopsticks.
Are they Asian?
Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Doesn't matter.
It kind of does.
Does it?
Very much so, it does.
I think in this day and age, anyone should be able to use the sticks.
What? Globalization, melting of cultures.
Yeah, because then, like, let's say you're dating someone, right? And they're sitting here fumbling their chopsticks
Oh my
around.
God, that's a hard ick.
Hard ick, right? Can I get a fork? No, I get that away
So
from
we
me.
went to Teppanyaki about 1 or 2 years ago, and the fourth member of this podcast, Kush, asked for a fork.
Yeah, no. it's
So
gotta
what are your
go.
thoughts on that then?
Massive red flag.
I'm
Like-
on the ick side.
Okay, I think I'm just interchanging red flag and ick. I think respectfully, it's definitely an ick.
Yeah.
It's probably not a red flag,
Yeah.
but even so, I don't know. It's a little bit
It
strange.
shows you're not worldly. Is that what you're trying to say?
a little bit not worldly,
Not cultured.
not wanting to pick up other cultures.
Not
Like,
open-minded.
all right, all these things maybe, but apparently it happens more than we think.
Yeah,
according
it
to this
does.
woman.
I know quite a few Asians that don't know how to use chopsticks.
Yeah, if you're an Asian and you don't know how to use a chopstick, that's a red flag then.
What
Not
about-
What if they prefer a fork? Things just like get scooped up easier.
It does. I think it's more like I also prefer a fork, right? I'm not, super good on the sticks, but I'll always use chopsticks just because of the shame if I pick
right.
out a fork.
By that logic, what if we flip it? What if you're an Asian that can't use cutlery?
Well, that's what happened with our friend Will in Year 9 camp.
I need to out his name, bro.
Oh my God.
Dude,
And I know for a fact he's used the real name.
yeah, at least give a fake name.
He
There.
went to the camp, Year 9 camp.
Actually, let's just go with his name. There we go. Might as well at this
I
point.
fucking believe that.
And he sat there and he didn't know how to use a knife and fork for the steak. That was also an ick to me.
No, I felt sorry for him. I felt bad.
That's all he's known, dude, at home. Chopsticks.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh.
Oh.
This is the second most common response. If they have guy best friends or girl best friends.
So, a best friend of the opposite gender.
Mhm.
I think, in and of itself, having a best friend of the opposite gender is fine. It's just depending on how they interact and like how they kind of behave with each other.
And then
Well, if they
also how they behave with the partner.
Yeah, correct. But if they're just normal best friends, I think that's fine.
There's a lot of criteria that has to be ticked
Exactly.
for it to be good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because like when I have like a lot of female
Mhm.
good friends.
Mhm.
Relax, yeah.
It's news to everyone.
And so like in my head, I'm like, whatever, they're just like other people, no dramas. But I know
Right.
that some people potentially would find it like a red flag because, yeah,
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
But the thing you said there, you said good friends. You didn't say I have a female best friend. And I think that's where the difference is. So it's sort of like, is this best friend like to you, someone that is more close friend wise to you than your partner? Because that's different. It's many people, I have heaps of close guy friends, but none of them would be my best friend
Gotcha.
if I'm dating a guy. That
But-
technically should be my best
But yeah, like if you're dating a guy, if you're in a relationship, 100% your partner is your best friend.
That's
but I'm
what I
saying
mean
like
though.
first couple of months into
Ah.
dating, they're not going to be your best
Oh,
friend
yeah, true.
immediately.
What do you do with your best friend once you get a relationship?
It just gets surpassed, mate. It's just a, you know, yeah.
Yep, naturally.
Because you have friends like that are guys that you hang out with all the time and they get a girlfriend and suddenly they're David Blaine or Harry Houdini. Do you know what I mean?
Never see him again.
Never see him again. And like that's just the circle of life sometimes.
So wait, Brenda, what did you say for this? Is this a red flag for you? If they had a guy best friend
So-
or a girl best friend?
Close girlfriends is okay, but if it's someone that's kind of like on par with me, like, and we're like getting serious, it's an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a hierarchical system. You have to respect the system.
Yeah, you have to respect the system. All right, final one. Asking for your date of birth for horoscope purposes.
How early on can you ask for this information?
It depends on how serious you are. Like people ask and it's like a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
It's about, like really how seriously they take it.
Mm.
Because there are some people who take it seriously, like proper seriously. And if you're not an Aquarius, then you've got to go.
Yeah, I don't believe in any of this shit. So for me, it's not a red flag, but I would say it's just a bit of an ick.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Thoughts?
I would say it's an ick, but I have something to add on. the star sign system, the whole, Sagittarius, Aquarius, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm less I'm like, oh, it's a bit hoo-ha. But my mum has like the Asian system.
Here we go. Now we're talking.
The real stuff, the OG.
And this is like ingrained in like centuries of like our ancestors and like, you can't diss that. So but it's like measured by like birth year and sort of like your zodiac sign. And she has like a book.
Yeah.
And then, once you get your birth year and so your sign and stuff, you sort of, it's not around yes or no, but it's like details out how your life could play out. And apparently a lot of like fortune tellers and stuff overseas, especially in Asia and stuff, they have done this for like centuries, like use this to, pick dates for marriages, pick dates for weddings and like sort of tell like, whether it could be a compatible match or what your life would look like.
We have a similar thing in the Hindu tradition, but it's like fucking 3-unit maths. There's like formulas and calculations you have to do. Like you have to take both your birth dates, the time you were born, and then you have to look at like at that time what stars were in the sky. Yep. And then they use that to figure out what's an auspicious day for your wedding, what time is a good day for your wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe it, but you just go with it. Like you said, your parents believe it, so you just kind of have to go with it.
Fair enough.
So, okay, so we're saying not a red flag.
It's not a red flag if it's a bit of fun.
If it's a bit of fun, and if it's like what Brenda and Sen said, legit comes from your culture. But what if you're just into horoscopes and stuff?
It's a red flag if I hear you're what's another one? Taurus. And that's already like, I can't date you now. That's a bit, you're taking it too serious.
Yeah. And if you're a Taurus, you're definitely ABCD.
Yeah.
Then no.
Oh, there you go. That was a bit of fun with the red flag segments. Well, we'll jump into Bullslut, but thanks, Brenda. That was very helpful.
Righty, our game, as per usual, is Bullslut. So just to give you a quick recap of how it works, Brenda, is I'm going to give you a category and you might be taking on one of these boys on, and I'll say how many things in this category can you name in 30 seconds, and you'll go back and forth until one of you thinks the other is lying. You'll call out Bullslut, and then you'll have to name that many in 30 seconds. Yep. So if we look at the guest leaderboard, we do 5 rounds, and most of our guests have actually beaten us. So Jason Sanger and Neil both got 4. Wow. Kat got 3, Jacob got 3, and Henry Zhu, unfortunately,
the only
loss. So really, the bar is pretty low, Brenda.
Oh God.
Yeah, really amp the pressure on. I feel like we need to do some like psychological manipulation here.
All right. So first round, Ro, you'll take on Brenda.
Beautiful.
And your category is countries in Asia.
Seems motivated.
Wait till you see the other categories.
Oh God, geography. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
So countries in Asia. We'll start with Euro.
I'll go 8.
9.
Do we want to start at get a baseline of where Brenda sits, or do we just want to go for broke?
No.
10.
Bullslut.
Oh. Okay.
Ro famously was in Asia. 2 different Asian countries
Thank
recently.
you for reminding me. Those 2 weren't even on the radar.
Oh my God. I'll stop talking then.
Yeah.
I'll stop talking
Reel
then.
them off now.
All right, Ro, you have 30 seconds to name 10 Asian countries. Your time starts now.
Thailand, Vietnam, Hong Kong, China, Laos, Myanmar, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal.
Done.
Let's
Just
go.
Like that. 10 seconds. 10 was low. You both could have done more than 10 comfortably.
Respect, how many could I have realistically done?
I got nervous.
Maybe-
I was like, this is high pressure.
Yeah. Even the heart's beating a little bit for me, and I've played this game many
You
times.
could have done 15 to 20.
I think
Your
14,
Singapore's,
15.
Malaysia's,
Yeah, true.
Sri Lanka.
As soon as he started listening, I was like, I could have did this. I was like,
Aim higher, guys. Come on.
All right, 1 on the board.
All right. Next one. Miguel, you're going to go with Brenda this time, and your category is McDonald's menu items.
Haven't been in a long time.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yeah.
We're not allowing small fries, medium fries, large fries, small
No,
Coke,
no,
medium.
no,
Okay,
no, no.
okay.
So I can't go like 6 nuggets,
No.
10 nuggets, 24 for $10.
No.
6.
Okay, 6. Brenda,
10.
10. Straight off the bat. She's confident.
Oh, yeah. 11.
15.
Whoa, now we're getting into
Good.
some big numbers.
I couldn't do 11. I can't do 16. Bullslut.
Brenda, 15 McDonald's
30 seconds.
food
That's
items
a
in
lot.
30 seconds. And like we said, small fries, medium fries, large fries is 1 item. So that doesn't count.
Yep. Okay, got it.
Okay, so your 30 seconds starts now.
Cheeseburger, Big Mac, quarter pounder, chicken and mayo, McChicken, chicken nuggets, fries, apple, sweet and sour sauce,
Let's go.
Coke, orange juice, latte, hash brown, sausage and egg McMuffin, bacon, an egg McMuffin.
Done.
Oh, wow.
With 9 seconds to spare. Well done.
I could have gone Coke, Sprite.
Yeah, I thought you were going to do that. I thought you were just going to name all the
You
drinks.
know what? I didn't want to make it too easy. I was like, I'm
Fair
gonna-
play. No,
No,
what?
that's bro. That was expertly done, I must say.
Well
Wowee,
done.
1
All
all.
right, 1-1. Next one should be your area of expertise, Brenda. Your category is things you can do on a first date.
Like first date activities?
Interpret it however you want to interpret it.
Okay.
This is very broad.
Definitely in my favor.
Okay, I'll let ladies first.
10.
Bro, when was your last first date?
My last first date was years ago.
Many, many moons.
At least 6 prime ministers ago.
Well, we love that for you.
Yeah, but not for this game, you know? Okay. 10 first date. All right, let's go 12.
15.
But like anything can be a first date activity.
Within reason.
It's not even
It has to
activity.
be
It's just
generally common first dates.
Yeah,
You know
okay.
what? I'm if someone calls veto on it, I'll say a new one.
What was your number? Sorry,
15. Can you name 16?
Come on, bro. 16.
I think I can name
30 seconds.
16. Yeah, I'll go 16.
17.
Respectfully, bro.
I don't think you can name
I'm
18.
one of your biggest believers, bro. I don't believe right now.
I'm just trying to think. Like you know how this game works. You know, you've got little categories you can go through. The sources, like for example, last round sources, the drinks. I'm trying to think of like activities. I just can't think of any. So I'm gonna go Bullslut, Brenda, 17.
Fuck, 17. Wait, hold on, let me take a breather.
All right, are
Yeah.
we ready, Sen? Let's not let it time to think. Just start rattling them off quickly.
All right, 17 things to do on a first date. Your time starts now.
Movies, drive through, going on a road trip, going for a walk, going on a coffee, getting a dinner date, going to play archery, going to play darts. Oh my god.
15 seconds.
Going for a boat ride, going for a
Yeah.
bike ride.
Yeah.
10, 7 more. You have 8 seconds.
Doing a run together.
Mm-hmm.
Going to a rave together, going to the bar for a drink.
That's your 30 seconds.
Oh!
So how many did you get? 13,
13,
14?
I think 13 or 14.
Also, can I say, going on a road trip on your first date is
Rave?
crazy. No, I'll allow rave. Rave is fine. A road trip.
No, and also like a drive. Maybe a drive. A road trip. A fucking 3 days at Byron Bay or some shit. Yeah,
End
right.
up on the news, brother. So you end up on a true crime podcast.
Honestly, I was just reeling shit off at that point. Like,
That was your second one, I think. Roll the tape back, Kuj. I think that was the second or third answer you gave.
When you said things you could do on a first date, I thought you could eat, like, you know what I mean? Like, not the whole date.
No, I
Just
was
things.
thinking-
Like
I was
pick
thinking
your
of-
nose. I don't know.
No, I wanted those kind
Brenda's
of
lines is
answers.
what I was
Yeah.
thinking as well. Yeah.
Picnic. Didn't say picnic. Could have
I
gone to the
think it did
zoo.
Yeah, plenty of first dates.
Any of
Right.
first
Yeah,
dates.
especially when
but-
the time's not on your send, you
Damn
can think
it.
of all of them.
All right, so that's 2-1 now. Back to us. And there's 2 more categories left. Back to you, Migs. And your category now is high school subjects.
I'll go 8.
10.
Go 12.
Bullslut.
12 subjects.
I think.
I know what you're going to do.
We'll see if you count it, but it's fine.
I would count it. All right.
Oh, really?
12. But try and do more first before you act the fool.
No.
12
Fine, fine. I'll
high
try.
school subjects in 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Got modern history, ancient history, geography, senior science, chemistry, physics, biology. I'm fucked. Music, engineering, woodwork,
yeah, that was
2 unit
so
maths,
close.
3 unit maths, advanced English.
There you go.
Job
That's
done.
13.
Job done.
There you go. I
10
left
seconds
those
left.
at the end.
Oh, just like that's 3-1, Brenda.
Oh my god!
Can we get on? Can you beat Henry
you need
potentially?
to at least tie with Henry right now. So you got 1 chance left. And your final category, Ro, you're back in. Your final category is common Asian last names.
Oh my God.
I like this one. This is
Okay,
a novel.
all right.
Don't think,
Speaking of motivated,
don't think of just East Asian.
I'm thinking.
Think South Asian as well. And we've beautifully segregated the couches as well today, I just noticed. We got the East Asian corner over there and we have the South Asian side
Mate, I'm
over
thinking
here.
West Asian, North Asian. I'm thinking the whole lot.
What, you're starting Nepalese names or something? Or the Turkmenistan
yeah,
names?
like Russian.
right.
All right.
How many can you name in 30 seconds? We'll start with maybe Brenda.
Thank you.
10.
What?
Yeah, easily.
Common.
Are you kidding?
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, we went to a high school with a lot of Asians, and so I'm just looking down the list of the names.
That's so motivating.
So by time, what's your number?
Yeah, come on.
12.
14.
Common. Yeah.
I think this is one you can
do
easily
20
rattle
You
off.
can do over 20.
No, this
easily.
could get racist real quick. Just
Nah, it
quietly.
won't.
Okay, what did you say? 12?
14.
14? I'll go 16.
18.
I don't think I can. Bullslut. 18.
Oh my God.
All right. You've already lost, Brenda, but you're playing for pride right now to tie with Henry. So 18 common Asian last names in 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Lee, Lu, Long, Ho, Van, Trang, Nguyen, Nam, Lam, Hong,
It's 10.
Vu,
15 seconds.
Nah, let's play on.
Lim,
Mm-hmm.
Come on, almost there.
Sing,
Here we go.
New country unlocked.
Tram,
Your time is up.
Oh, 14.
15. Oh my God.
That was pretty good though.
Once you got to the sings, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, we're in trouble now.
I helped because I thought of my friends first. And then I was like, and then I ran out of friends.
You got stuck in like the Vietnam, China
You got
area.
really in the weeds. I was thinking more Wongs, Woos,
Oh my God. That was my
Chens,
two.
Chans.
Damn it.
Yeah, there was a lot of there. There was a lot in there. That was a good fun. Well done,
Good
Brenda.
fun.
That was pretty good. As always, this episode is sponsored by our good friends at Manscaped. We put out a call saying, can we get some dating red flags, this and that. And someone actually responded when they don't use Manscaped as a red flag.
Good.
And I
That's
got to
good.
say, it's pretty true, isn't it?
Yep.
Like, not just an ick. It's not just an ick. It's a dead set red flag. If they're not grooming,
It's personal hygiene.
it's disgusting if you're not using it. And so, get your hands on a pair of Manscaped, some Manscaped gear. You can use the code TCB at checkout. It'll give you 20% off. And now let me rattle you through what Manscaped can get you. Firstly, I would suggest having a look at the performance package, right? Because in the performance package, you actually get all that you need. You get the Lawnmower 5.0, you get the Weed Whacker, you get a bunch of other accoutrements, and you can get 20% off. So support us, support the boys, support Manscaped, but less so about them, more so about us. TCB at the checkout, 20% off and free shipping. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are doing a segment called The Ethnic Experience. And so it'll be maybe a recurring series if this goes well. Big if this goes well. And so what we're going to talk about today is the ethnic dating experience, right? What is it like dating as an Asian? So we put the call out on Instagram. Thank you very much for everyone who replied. We were inundated with responses, and we're going to go through some of the good ones today and talk about kind of the challenges and the struggles and, maybe a bit of banter around that. All right, so the first one is walking through an area and feeling like you're going to be spotted by a family or family friend.
I remember when me and my missus first started dating, very early on, we went to the Sydney Royal Easter show,
Beautiful.
which I thought at the time. And then we sat,
We'll hide amongst the crowd.
well, yeah, because it's like on a given day, it's probably a couple, 20,000, 30,000 people, maybe more. I made that up. But we were in line to go to the dome where you feed the baby animals.
Mm.
And then we were standing in line, and it's a massive line. I was just looking around. I saw behind me, maybe 3 or 4 people back, was my cousin. And this was very early on in our relationship, and a lot of my extended family didn't know.
Yeah, so you shoved Frank out of the line and said,
Pretty
get out,
much.
get out of here.
I'm like, get out, come back and see me
Scram.
later. And for the rest of the time, like I was so paranoid. Like, should they see me? Fuck, I'm scared. I'm worried. So yes, this is a very much an intrinsic part of dating as an Asian, I feel.
What did you actually do in this scenario?
What?
Did
You didn't push
see you?
Frank and tell her to scram.
No, I just told her, let's look only forward so they don't see us.
So they didn't. So
Wait,
they didn't
actually?
say hi or anything. So you recognize them, but they probably.
They didn't see me. They
Ah.
didn't see me. I definitely saw them, but they didn't see me. So I just said, let's look forward only. Just always look forward in life. Never look back.
Yeah,
And we'll be fine.
Oh my
because we have a story of someone in our football team, right? He went on like a first or second date with someone, and I think he's pretty private about this at the moment. And then he was walking, like crossing the street or something, and then someone else in our football team was walking the other way, right? But this guy saw them from a mile away, right? So he's like approaching them.
Mm.
And then when our friend who was on the date saw them, immediately dropped her hand because they were holding hands, dropped her hand, and then And then they said hi and whatever. And then he asked, oh, who's this? Like, I've never seen this. Like, oh, this is my friend. And I think that was, the last date they went on. I don't know. I think it went sour from there, but there's a real fear and paranoia of seeing people.
I wonder, curiously, why did seeing your cousin take you aback so much?
I don't know. I just wasn't ready to confront my family.
Especially in front of the lambs, in front of the agriculture.
We know how the Asian community is, right? One person finds out something, they'll tell someone else, and then before you know it, it's basically you might as well just put in the newspaper, right? Everyone in the community
Chinese whispers.
Yes,
correct.
True.
In Chinese culture, just whispers.
Fair. Yep.
That was the biggest fear. Because I wanted to be the one to tell people. I didn't want people to find out secondhand.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ignore what you said. But it was mostly that. It's just that.
Yeah, fair.
I have a story about this, not me, but also my friend. And it was like kind of the opposite way around. So he was going on a date with a girl and he told his parents that he was out with his friends.
Right.
And his parents were driving down like a highway and they saw William, who is his friend, riding a bike on the road without, my friend Jake. And so he's not been outed, but he's been outed by like proxy. Yeah. Because his parents have not spotted him, but they've spotted the friend that he lied about.
Yep.
And so, it's look, you got to hide it until you're ready. And in some case, that could take maybe 2-3 years.
And is that because you're worried they won't like your partner or they like, is it just, your business is your business. You'd rather just.
I think it's that.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly just that. I like to keep my privacy. That being said, some auntie did come up to my mum recently and she said, oh, apparently Sen's dating a Chinese girl. My mum came up to me and was like, is there another one that I don't know about? And I said, so I don't know, dude. I think that's the biggest fear in the brown community. Like Chinese whispers, things come around and people find out things and
Curiously, is that frowned upon?
What is this?
Like if you're dating...
Interracial?
My parents wouldn't care, but I think definitely there are people in the community who would definitely have their thoughts about that and would, more or less frown upon it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll delve into this. A lot of parent stuff coming in. A lot of parent stuff coming in. So, okay. The next one is, this is maybe, I'm not sure if this is like a ethnic experience or more like a brown experience, but there are so many restrictions. You have to think, what will my parents think before you kind of get to know someone? Is that something that maybe not you personally, but you and your friends experience?
Yes, I've definitely, I guess it's like shifted over the years because I was like growing up, they'd be like, oh yeah, like, because I'm Viet. They're like, meet a nice Viet boy. But then like, as I got older and was single, they were like, meet anyone. Like, like the criteria shifts. But at the start, I was like, he shouldn't do drugs, shouldn't have tattoos, shouldn't do this and that. And then over there, if he does a bit, but like,
This is an interesting one because I've never felt this. Yeah. Really? Has anyone else felt this?
I've never felt this, but my parents are not the stereotypical like strict.
Yeah, that's
Asian parents.
Strict parents. That's the problem. I've
but
never
also you
felt
guys
this.
are guys.
Yeah, that's probably a big one as well.
I feel like that's probably the main one. Let's be honest.
Then you reckon your sister had this sense then?
Not really, because she also broke the mold.
Yeah,
as well.
she dated a white dude.
Yeah.
Married.
Married, come on.
With a child.
Yeah, so that's why I think my parents were fine with all of that.
Yeah, true. Your sister actually messaged this. She replied to our story saying, where do I start with like the experiences? And I replied to her.
Shout out to her. She broke down a lot of the barriers.
Yeah, I said Sen didn't have to even worry about a single thing.
You can do whatever you want now.
Yeah. All right. Next one is what dating? You're supposed to focus on your study, and when that's done, you need to focus on your career. So I feel like this is pretty common, right? People like, parents like, don't date in high school. Oh, don't date in uni. And then like once you finish uni and start to work, they're like, oh, why aren't you married yet?
Yep.
The tale as old as time, really.
Yeah, it's a classic of the genre. It's
relatable across all.
Do you
so
think
fresh.
When you are older, when you're going to be a parent, you reckon and all of you, do you think you will have the same views?
As my parents?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah. So you're open for them to date at any age?
Yes. But I would have hope that I have raised them with the value of study and career is important and comes first.
Yeah. High school. Look, high school.
Yeah, high school
one.
thoughts.
So like, for example, I remember.
High school's whatever. It's not serious.
Yeah.
Ro, not serious?
I didn't date in high school.
Just after it.
There was one girl I dated in high school, but that we all know how that went.
Yes, all of us.
No, so I was gonna say, like, I remember I think I was in year 6 at the time.
Okay, primary school is too young.
Let me just tell you the story, right? And I remember like my parents would be like, look, you can't date in high school, you know, like doing this sort of thing, get a girlfriend when you're in uni or whatever, right? That's like kind of what happened. And then I remember like falling in love with a beautiful girl in primary school. I remember like,
and you were 20 at the time.
Couldn't help yourself, son.
I was also in year 6 at the time.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember like we were going on dates or whatever, and then I just felt so much pressure. I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I have a girlfriend. And I remember like the stress I felt then.
Yeah.
And then like I was crying. I was like, Dad, I'm so sorry. I've let you down. I've got a girlfriend in year 6.
Aw.
But I feel like if you're in high school, as long as you're in year 12,
Yeah.
I think, just have a bit of fun. Play on. Just find yourself a little bit.
Did your parents specifically say don't have a girlfriend in high school or don't date in high school?
Yeah, I think I got that.
Did you get that, Brenda?
I can't remember, but I definitely dated in high school.
Yeah.
So they must have said something, but
Okay.
yeah.
You just don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it, Dad.
Yeah.
We went to a boys' school, so maybe it's not as like.
Yeah.
I think that's why I didn't get I didn't get anything.
I
But I
didn't get
think because
anything
my,
either.
They're like, it's safe. You're
Yeah.
in
I
a
think my
boys'
parents knew there
school.
was no danger. I think that's the problem.
I got nothing because my parents knew I was a loser. So
I was just with these two half the time. That's all it was.
Right.
I don't understand that logic of why they think you can't date and study at the same
No,
time.
you can't.
Like
It's
It's a
they're-
distraction, brother.
Yeah.
It's a
Massive
dis-
distraction.
And plus, you're not mature enough to like know. You'd prioritize fun.
Yeah.
We know all the tales of this guy trying to tune in high school.
Or even
Big
in, like,
distraction.
But what about in uni? Is uni fair game to
Uni's
date?
fair game.
Uni's
but,
fair game.
Okay.
but I
All
also
right.
think like there's stories of people like people also still get distracted 100%. Like people are like, I have a story of a guy who was doing a unit and like they were studying together. That was like how they were like tuning or whatever. And then he dropped out of the
Well,
unit.
that's right. The word tuning is that?
Tuning. Oh my God, I came across it recently.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Are you familiar with that
Yeah,
term?
I heard
Okay.
it recently though.
Well,
Okay.
what do you call it? Rizzing? I don't know what the new.
I thought it might
I
have
thought
just been.
tuning is new. Is that a Sydney thing?
That's what I was gonna say. I thought it was
Oh
a
my
Sydney
God.
thing only.
Wait, has it been
Yeah.
around for a long time?
Yeah, ages ago.
yeah,
ages.
ages.
Yeah, that's a Sydney thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So
Continue.
they were getting to know each other and how they would choose is like they would just go on study dates or whatever
Yeah.
together. And then he dropped the subject, but didn't tell her that he had dropped the subject. So he was studying for a course that he wasn't even doing
Oh my God.
just
See,
to
if he
fall in
wanted
love.
to, he would.
Yeah.
If-
There you go. That's true love there. But yeah, of course, dating in uni is fine.
Yeah.
I think like it's
You're an adult then.
extremist behavior if your parents don't let you date in uni.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is brown and Asian people finding it hard to get matches on dating apps.
In my illustrious career of online dating, all 2 months of it, I found that I only ever matched with fellow brown people or Asian people.
Hmm.
All 8 matches I got were all brown or Asian people. That's at least my experience. I'm not sure how you found it, Brenda.
A girl on dating apps is different.
That is true. That is very true, actually.
Mostly Asian, but honestly, just heaps. Like,
Just volumes.
I just
She heard Sensei 8 and just decided
Yeah.
to.
I went in the first 10 seconds.
Didn't even put my picture up and I already got 8. Yeah, right.
That's so funny. No, that's fine.
No, that's fine. That's makes sense. No, but I think as a guy, you go into it as an ethnic guy expecting this is how it's going to be. You're not going to, it's not going to be like,
But
you're going to
should
get a
it
lot
be
of
like
matches.
that?
It shouldn't, but like that's life. You got to take it as it comes.
But these days, I think there's a slight shift. People are becoming more cultured,
Okay.
and now it's actually cool.
To be ethnic.
Yeah,
To date interracially.
yeah.
Is there any ethnic specific dating apps?
Yeah,
Like a
heaps.
Tantan?
Yeah, we made Muzmatch is one of them.
Oh yeah, Muslim.
No, I heard that.
One of our friends is going to get married to a girl he met on Muzmatch, which is like for Muslims.
Yep.
And then there's like there's deal meat or something like that for
Deal
the
meals
brown
for
people.
marriage though. Like,
Yeah.
what if you just want to casually date around?
No, there's
Coffee
someone
meets
at work.
bagel.
There's a Indian one, like not marriage, but just dating, like Tinder equivalent, just for
Oh,
Indian
really?
people. There's one. I forgot the
Coffee meets
name.
bagel, I
I
swear,
forget
was
the name
the.
too, but I know what you're talking about.
Mm.
What's that? Coffee meets bagel.
Wasn't that a classic Asian dating app?
Yeah, it was more Asian.
Yeah.
it was-
But I think this is true, low key. Like in terms of like the hierarchy of like dating, right? Or like people, like in terms of attraction, I think like Caucasian people probably at the top, and then you have like all the ethnics underneath, and there's like a massive gap. I think everyone goes for white people.
You reckon even ethnics go for white people?
Sometimes.
No, actually no. They actually specifically ask for closer to their ethnicity. Yeah,
Mm.
like East Asian versus South Asian versus it's actually it's not they're
Really?
not asking to me.
That's what I would have thought. I would have thought people would go for their
my
own
all
ethnicity.
Asian events are always sold out.
Oh, really?
faster than my mixed events.
The next one is, as an Asian girl, Caucasian guys expect me to be demure and sweet.
What does demure mean?
Think like,
Gentle.
Yeah, gentle, meek.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is that the fetishization of
Yes.
Asians?
100%. And I think that's why a lot of my Asian girlfriends are very careful when they match with white guys. Like, how do they, have they had a track record of Asian girlfriends?
Yeah, right.
And it's like, you got to kind of vet it out a little bit. Like, is it?
Can you tell straight away when someone's like into that kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, what
so
are
it's
the,
obvious.
what are the signs?
Yeah, what's the telltale signs?
Usually the first one is the track record of girlfriends.
Mm.
Is it mixed or is it all Asian? Then it's like their interest.
Do they like anime?
Anime. We just demonized anime.
I didn't say you guys said it.
Like, fluid Japanese comes out of them. Red flag. Interesting. But
They ask you to dress up in a maid outfit.
is there any like subtle signs, or is it just track record and like interest, as you said?
I think it's more just they lean into the culture a bit, like,
Bit too much.
yeah.
All right. The next one is a challenge when like dating as an Asian or whatever is parents are conservative, but especially about things like moving out, moving with partners, and like going on holidays. I think is a massive one.
As a Viet girl, my parents have always raised with move out when you get married.
Mm.
And I was never a very traditional Viet girl. So yeah, one of my exes at the time, I was like, you know what? I want to move out. And they probably found out in the worst way because do you guys know Gumtree?
Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot that me and Dad share a Gumtree account. Messaging people about like lease transfers and stuff like this. And then like one night I was out and Dad calls me. He's like, are you moving out? And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh no. And like he broke down and Mum broke down. And I was like, I'm the shame of the family. It was like a whole thing. Then I went out and then I came to terms with it.
I think that's the only way you really can do it. Like you just got to force your way through it.
Yeah.
And they'll realize it's fine and they'll come around on it. I don't think there's any other way. Like you can't really negotiate with this.
what's
like
that
terrorism.
saying? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. So you should just send it
It's my
and
rule of
then
life.
see what happens.
I think for me, the holidays was like a little bit of a sticking point. Like, because I think, we'd be dating for a couple of years or whatever. And we should go overseas or we should go interstate together, this and that. And so we'd always do like these group trips, whatever. And that was like chill because there's like people involved. But the first like time I was like, Cindy and I are going away on like a road trip or like a weekend away or whatever. That was, mate, the heart was pounding. The parents are like, who else is, like first question, like, who else is coming? And then you have to break it. It's like, actually, it's just me and her. And then there's a lot of,
How'd they react to that when you broke the news?
they were like, what? In their head, they're like,
Why would you want that,
yeah,
right?
they're like, why? You can do all these things when you're married. And I'm like,
Was that the actual perspective?
yeah, that was actually the perspective.
Oh.
It's like why? What's the rush? Just take it easy.
Are your parents coming? Is that like an Asian thing or is that also a religious thing as well?
Probably both. Like probably more religious, I would say.
Because you get it two-pronged.
Yeah, I got a double point, but they're still chill though. They're still chill. With holidays and stuff, how was your experiences with dropping, I'm going to Melbourne with Priyanka or I'm going, weekend away with Christina?
I have no issues, to be honest. But then because we started dating 2-3 years ago. So what? How old? Like 23, 24?
Mm.
That's not the worst. Well, how old were you when you
Yeah,
did this?
20, 21.
Exactly. I
think
feel like that
that's
age,
also,
at that age, I think I would have been asked a few questions. But my parents are chill, so they would have been fine with it.
Mm.
Whereas now, this age, like, why are you telling
Yeah.
me? Fuck
Yeah.
off.
One less mouth to feed.
Yeah.
It's actually a bonus.
Saving the electricity bill. Yeah,
Where
I think
you?
similar thing. And because we've already done like group trips,
Yeah.
I think it was fine as well.
The next one is getting her home before curfew can be an extreme sport sometimes. I never had a curfew or like my partner never had a curfew, but I know friends who had a curfew and like, it's like Cinderella, bro. When the clock strikes 10,
Yep.
she better be home. Although there's hell to pay.
Yeah, so I'm like you. I never had a curfew, and neither does my partner. But it's more of a if you get home late, it's like a what were you doing? Where have you been? It's more of an implicit curfew rather than a hard
Explicit.
Yeah.
Be home by 11 if you're home 11:01.
Yeah, there's none of
Sleep
that.
outside. No, none of that.
One of my friends, actually one of our friends, Gun, he plays soccer with us. I remember he dropped his girlfriend off late one time and then he walked her through the door and her dad was just doing bicep curls, just like watching him walk in with his daughter.
Oh my
my God.
It's one of the funniest things I've heard.
Yeah.
That's priceless.
It's actually aggressive, dude.
And in this day and age, you've got everyone's location anyway, and as long as you're messing your
But you're not
parents-
sharing. Are you sharing your location with your parents?
No, but you could if you wanted to. If my parents were bothered, I'm sure they could ask.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like that's worse.
Don't your parents have your location?
No, they don't. But they tried to make it a thing because I have like two younger brothers, and they were like, "Hey guys, let's all download Life 360. That'll be a fun little experiment for all of us." And I'm like, "Absolutely not." But
Zero buy-in.
yeah, zero buy-in from me. But my younger brother was like, "Oh yeah, that does sound fun, actually."
Oh, actually,
Yeah. So Varun,
why the little snitch?
Varun and Nick both downloaded it, and on this Life 360 app, it's not only the location. You can tell how fast someone is driving. You can tell
my
like
God.
if they've had too many like hard breaks and stuff like that. So this like whole report was being sent to like me and my parents, and I'm having a look. My mom like would get home and be like sitting at the dinner table, and mom would be like, "Oh, so Nick, speeding on Green Road, were you?" Really? Yeah. As like bands, like it's always
I
like
love
bands.
that.
That's a bit much though of
That is a
an
bit
app.
much.
No, the app is toxic. If you go on Reddit, there is like all these people with like really strict parents
Yeah.
are on this app being like, on this subreddit being like, "Oh my God, this app is like ruining my life." My parents
How
is
old
like
are your
tracking.
brothers?
Now they are 21 and 24, but this was yonks ago.
Yeah.
But it's not just Asian parents who are strict like that. So one of my managers at work is a white guy, and he was saying that he let his 16-year-old daughter go out for Vivid, and he's got a location, and he was checking it throughout the night, and he saw that she was kind of like going more towards like Oxford Street and like areas where Vivid definitely wasn't happening. And so he messaged her straight away and said, "Hey, like, what are you doing? Like, you've kind of overstepped the mark here. You should come home immediately."
Yeah.
And fair play to her, she actually came back home.
Oh.
But like, that's crazy that you have that much. Imagine if our parents had oversight on us when we were like
Yeah.
18, 19.
Yeah, no.
No good.
I would have worked out a way to get around it.
Yeah, 100%.
Just turn off your location.
Like, I'd pay someone to like just take my phone.
Did you have a curfew?
No,
Okay.
but also because my parents knew they'd not be able to put it on me.
yeah, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So what's the
That's
point?
good. I like that. Like your parents knew, like, there's no point. Like you're not going to listen anyway. So.
They did
Yeah.
call incessantly though.
But yeah, I think the curfew thing, it's like, it looks bad on you as like a partner or boyfriend if you're getting your partner home before the curfew. So it's like, even though you don't want to, it's like, sometimes the partner will be like, "Oh no, like, we should stay out." But it's on you to be like, "Get home, bruv." Like this is,
Yeah, it's a reflection of you.
it is actually a reflection of you. So if you want the relationship to start on like a decent note,
Yeah.
you've got to be respecting the curfew
That's
and work your way from the inside. She's got to be the one to like lift the curfew
Yeah,
from
yeah,
10 to 11, 11 till 12, and then nothing. All right, this is one where, okay, when your mum calls and you've got to make sure that your partner or whoever you're with is dead quiet.
We know someone who's like this, where I think his girlfriend's parents don't know about their relationship. So anytime he's around and she gets a call from her parents, he has to basically be a mouse, like just dead quiet. Or if they're on FaceTime, he can't be seen in the shot. How can you live
How
like
do you,
that?
how do you live like that? How do you live life like this, man?
But then how often are your parents calling during when you're with them?
For me, never.
me,
Like,
yeah.
literally never.
Yeah, I was going to say, I barely get a call.
I get a text once a week. Something nothing to do with me though, just some update from them.
But I think like, yeah, if you have stricter parents, like this is definitely one that it's highly stressful. Like,
Yeah,
every time you see mum, you've got to make sure that like the
You're going
surroundings.
into a different room.
Yeah,
You're
you-
like,
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's not a great way to live.
No, it's
Because then that extends to some of the early ones we talk about. When you go out as well, you got to be very cognizant of what's going on.
yeah, you got to hide. I feel like the hiding, like for example, when I started dating Cindy, I told my parents like date one, I'm going out with this girl. Like let's keep it out in the open. But I think like, for example, we have friends who didn't tell their parents for like literally years.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
People that, and more so is because, I think, it wouldn't fit family values. So like, no, we're going to hide it for
Yeah.
like until we're married. Like,
Yeah. That you can invite to the wedding.
yeah.
But yeah, so when you're hiding stuff, like all these things become like adrenaline moments. Like mum calls, like at the Easter show, you got to look around. Like, is anyone looking at me?
Yeah.
And it's just like a nightmare.
The one thing that I definitely did lie about a lot sounds bad, but it was whenever I slept over, like at my boyfriend's at the time, I'd be like, I'm with my girlfriends. I'm sleeping over with my friends. That was one.
Did he live out of home or did he live with his parents?
Nah, he lived at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what are their parents? What is this? Do you hide from his parents as well?
Oh no, they were cool with it.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. That makes sense. There is a couple of things where like, yeah, it's a weird thing with like sleepovers. Sometimes parents are chill, sometimes people are not. And then like the worst ones is where neither parent is chill. and you're still trying to get away with murder.
How do you get away with that one?
That's like, yeah, you got to climb out the window. It's like the movies.
Nah, it's not worth it, dude.
Yeah, just go.
Let's go home, brother. What are you doing? Surely that is more comfortable.
All right. This next one is when you tell your parents you're dating someone from a different ethnicity. Me,
Bro?
it was fine. It was fine because I think they knew her. Like we were friends before that. So I think like for me it was all right. But I can imagine it would be highly stressful, especially if you, again, compounded with you care what your parents think.
Yeah.
And you're dating someone who, like you said, is outside of like the traditional normal person that you're supposed to see.
Yeah, my parents were fine with it as well. She was brown, so it's close enough.
Yeah.
It's not like she was completely a different whole other ethnicity. It was like
Do you reckon
India,
that would
Sri
have?
Lanka, close enough.
You reckon that would have caused a stir? Nah, like different ethnicity completely.
Again, no.
Pattern irony.
Yeah, thanks for naming it.
Shout out.
That's interesting because one of my close friends, it's Sri Lankan Indian, but then it was not. I think they did hide their relationship.
Yeah, even then, people still hide. But did you ever feel the need to hide your relationship or anything?
No, I mean that's because I pretty much stuck with dating Asian, but I know there was always a preference. They're like, it would be so nice if we could communicate with him, and I was like, but I need to communicate.
More importantly, it's my communication. That's
but
true.
then, like I said, over time, it's like honestly, we don't even need to talk to him. Just like anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I think the interracial thing is like it honestly just depends on how traditional your parents are. I think like if they're super traditional, then it's like that almost might be the worst thing that you can do. Bring home someone who's not from your culture, and I can imagine in that situation, it's like high stress.
Yeah.
To be like,
it's
I'm
like
dating
a lot
this
of
person.
people are like, my parents would disown me. They wouldn't even like recognize the marriage, like stuff. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, it's very stressful.
That is extreme. I think that's the reason why people hide relationships, especially because it's like, oh, you just want to make sure that this person is like someone that you're actually serious about before you like drop the bombshell on your parents.
Yep, 100%.
Did you feel it the other way, Ro?
The
Her
other
parents. Did you feel anything there?
No, I actually didn't. They were pretty good about it. Like to my face.
Yeah, to your face.
But I think genuinely they were fine. I think like it took a little
good.
bit of soothing on Cindy's part to be like, oh, this is the person, this and that. Because I think both of us were very honest at the start. So it meant that there was no hiding. And it was just like kind of like to both sides, like get over it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, I love that.
Yeah. Like it is what it is.
I am a big believer of like, it is like the person's responsibility to sort of chat to their parents about it, like get their parents around it.
Yeah, 100%. Last one is when you have to introduce your parents to their parents.
Oh,
A
wow.
hard one.
Has anyone had experience with this?
Yes.
Okay, please.
It was actually perfect though, because he was weird. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, it was one of my exes, but we were very similar and like family backgrounds very similar. So when they met, it was stressful because I was like, I hope they get along and stuff. But I think the fact that they were both weird just made it so much easier.
I had an experience recently. I went to a concert, like an Indian concert. And so I bought tickets for me, my mom, my sister, and my partner. And then my partner also bought tickets for her parents and they were sitting somewhere else. But before the show and after the show, both our parents, my dad wasn't there, but my mom and my sister met her parents. They were pretty chill. Like, obviously because they knew, because we've talked about it before and like they knew who we were, we knew who they were. Like it was pretty calm, pretty chill.
No dramas.
No dramas. But that was obviously a very casual setting.
Is that better or worse?
I found it better. It was so much better.
You just at the concert, just hi, hello.
Because the point is not to meet,
pleasantries.
the point is to be
Correct.
at the concert and then you
Correct.
just happen to meet. If you set up somewhere, the whole point is to fucking
Exactly.
meet over a
Have
There's a
dinner.
lot of
Deal?
pressure on it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
This was very casual. It was just all hi, hello, talk about the concert, and then after talk about how good the concert was. Very easy, really easy stuff.
Is that the advice that you give? Start
I would
off
say
with a casual setting.
Start with the casual setting first, and then have a proper one. I would say
Yeah, I have to agree. The dinner straight up.
you're putting too much pressure.
Well,
on, I
especially
feel.
if you're not from the same cultures. Like if you're Viet, like easy-ish.
Yeah,
Just go to a
you're right.
Vietnamese restaurant.
That's I like that. I didn't think of that angle before, but I'm just thinking of like other than a dinner, other than like a concert situation like that.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know.
No, it could be like
No, my partner was here once and she forgot something at her parents' house. Her mum dropped it off. My parents greeted her mum.
yeah. Or if
Casual.
you're at the airport, like you
Yeah,
both parents
airport's
drop
a
each
good
other.
one.
It's a classic of the genre. You go, you both get dropped over at the departures gate. See you later, love. See you later.
Yeah, but then you're gone, but they're still there.
No, but you obviously like have a bit of chat at the bloody Sydney sign where you take a photo.
Yeah.
Have a bit of chat back and forth,
yeah.
and then you guys leave and they go their separate ways.
Interesting. Okay.
A little slide in.
Have you used that one?
No.
Sounds like a lot of detail,
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna say it sounds like something you've done.
No, I've done not the airport, but I've done like because I just pick her up to go to the airport. So like my parents would pick her up from her house, and there'd be like a interaction at the door.
Similar like mine is one then.
Yeah, like similar like mine is one. Haven't done the airport one, but I think it's a good one.
Might need to
So
try
you just
it.
came up with that on the spot.
Yeah, because like I was
that's so creative.
and then like our parents meeting over dinner. So like I'm obviously Indian, she's Chinese, and so what's the home ground advantage? Do we go to a Chinese restaurant? Do we go to an Indian restaurant? Do we go to an Indian Chinese restaurant?
Yeah, you go
That's
to
the
an Indian
winner.
Chinese.
That's
Yeah.
the winner.
Indo-Chinese, dude.
Is that disrespectful to both cultures?
How?
Yeah, the worst of both.
Yeah, it's like
How about you just go Italian?
Yeah. Find a middle ground.
Yeah.
You don't need to go cultural.
Just go to Hurricane or something. A nice steakhouse.
but
Go
also,
to Cronides.
I think it would be so funny to go to an Indian Chinese restaurant, honestly.
Well, how about you do it and you let us know how it goes?
Who's actually enjoying that at that point?
Yeah, no one. It's a lose-lose situation. But look, those are all the extreme dating hardships that we face. We have one quick relationship advice question
Okay.
that we want to get Brenda across.
So Anonymous says, I'm in an interracial relationship, dating a girl from Hong Kong as a brown guy, and have been for a few years since high school. So the main hardships that he has felt is, firstly, the cultural differences. Secondly, after bringing up the relationship to parents, they don't really ask questions, but it's not like I bring it up either. He says, we're both 20 years old, by the way, so they might not take it too seriously. We've only been to each other's place when parents aren't home. Always feel like I have to lie if I want to spend the night at a hotel. And then in brackets, he says, I say I'm with my friends. And then I also feel inclined now to learn Cantonese. I find that pretty respectful. I got her mum a Christmas present last year, but I've never formally met her or even talked to her. So I kind of feel a bit icky about that. Her dad doesn't even know I exist.
Oh, that's...
Do you have any tips/advice on how to go about this whole situation getting better?
I think this is a classic like relationship at 20 years old.
Yeah.
For, like the ethnic person as well. So it's not, you're not on your own, brother.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was a lot nicer than I thought you were going to be, Manu.
No, it's true though. That's like if someone that was 20 told me that, I'm like, that sounds BAU.
Yeah.
But it can be very stressful at that
It
young
is stressful.
age.
I'm not saying it's
Very
not stressful or anything like that.
It'd be upsetting, for sure. I think it's something that, and like I said before on one of like the parents' stressful situations, it is kind of a little bit on your partner to sort of understand how you feel, and like, but you do have to tell her like what the impact of it is, and then for her to sort of get her parents to come around. Like if what he's looking for is sort of like for her to tell her dad that he exists, that's something that she should, if she cares and loves him,
Yeah.
she should take on and do.
So from his point of view, are you saying that he just kind of has to hope that she takes the initiative on this one?
Yeah, he can't take
He
the
can't.
initiative.
He can't.
What can he
What's
do?
he gonna do?
Well, not
Rock up and be like,
not
oh, here
hope.
I am.
From his
Accept
point of
me.
view, it feels like that he's kind of helpless in this situation. Like
Well, no, he can help
feels like he
himself
do more.
to an extent by telling her
Yeah.
and like, I don't know, be vulnerable about it and say it.
Yes.
But then I can also, devil's advocate, I can also see she might feel so much pressure from her parents who sound really strict
Yeah.
that she's scared to even do anything. So it's like,
What about him buying a Christmas present for her mom that he's never met or spoken to?
I respect
That's
that.
nice.
I respect
Yeah,
that.
that's
He's
nice.
trying.
That's a good strategy.
He's trying. I respect
But he
that.
said he
Great
felt
strategy.
icky about it.
Why?
Why? Well, that's what I'm going to ask
No, I
you.
think
Why would he feel
maybe
that way?
because he's never, like
Yeah.
he himself feels like I've never met her. I don't feel
Yeah.
good that I haven't met her.
Yeah, right.
Not that, I'm getting a gift.
Yeah, it's
What
not
was
about the
that?
gift. It's,
Okay,
it's
all
about it's like someone he cares about, and like she can't even tell her parents properly.
And this guy's definitely trying. He said he even wants to learn Cantonese now.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
so sweet. I
That's
think that
really
is
good.
true. For the girl, I would start telling her parents would be one, and then hyping him up because I think that's more important. Because like what you say around like how much you care about your partner and what they're doing to like go all this, like her parents don't know.
Yeah.
So it does lie on her to sort of reassure him in this situation.
They're also 20, like still young. Like, but this sort of stuff takes a while, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not going to get better anytime soon. No offense.
Speaking of the hyping things up, so I went to Perth recently to visit my partner's like cousins and like grandparents that I've never met before, and there was game day discussions in the cars, like how are we going to approach this, like what's the right strategy. And I think we landed on because like I don't really like to boast. Despite, I mean,
Hey,
We're
hang on.
real
Silent.
270 episodes in, and now you're going to say that.
I'm a humble man.
Why are you lying to our listeners and Brenda right
No,
now?
I'm not. But like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, look at me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I need a little bit of help from my partner being like, oh, you know, Rohit does this for me, or Rohit, you know, does this. And then I feel more comfortable to explore, because I can't just be like, you know, oh, I do a podcast, you know, rah, rah, rah.
Someone needs to lead you into it.
Yeah.
Or
Someone
like
needs
a
to set me
question
up.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think so similar to that, like I think trying to get a meeting with the parents might be a good first step, like asking them to meet, and then you can do this sort of little game or whatever. But even if that's too serious, I think like in a year or two, man, it'll be fine.
It'll be
Like,
better. Yeah.
I
You
think
know what I mean?
as it gets more serious, I think it will come around. Like it always comes around.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right.
So our advice is just sit and wait.
No, our advice is tell your partner
Yeah.
and see if she can do some work for you.
Yeah.
And if she can't, don't worry about it, brother. In 2 years' time, mate,
will
you'll be
get
best
better.
friends with the family.
Mhm.
And if you're not, well, that's
Write to us again.
Revisit in
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
We'll do a follow-up episode.
All right. Good luck with that, Anonymous, and all the best. I think that brings us to the end of that segment, Ro.
beautiful.
All right, that brings us to the end of a very fun episode. A massive thank you for Brenda for coming on. Where can our listeners find more about you and your events?
Yes, so you can find me on Instagram at Brenda in Business or DatingAppsSuck, or otherwise more about our events are up on my website, datingappsuck.com.au.
We'll put all those links in the description of the episode, and on YouTube you can find all of our episodes as per usual on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Of course, give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok, and we'll catch you guys next week.